What's up, guys? It's D22 Sosa Wayne trying to live like poker stream. This is my VIP guest, Dustin Cook, better known as Peste online. I thought you were Supernova Elite. Now they know just Supernova. You're out. I'm just kidding. I see you. I saw you so often. I just can't believe you're not Supernova Elite.
Yeah, I mean, I was about like 50% of the way there. I wasn't going to kill myself to do it.
Only 50%. That's crazy. I remember. I mean,
Yeah.
Nats like Suited Aces. He like got Supernova Elite like the very last eligible days. His eyes were like bloodshot. I don't know if he told you that story.
Yeah, I don't know how much extra was it worth for I
A
don't know.
lot. Supernova Elite. How much was Supernova worth?
I don't know, maybe like 80,000. Oh, Supernova Elite is probably worth like 80,000 or something.
No, Supernova Elite was over 100. It was like around 120, 120K.
Okay,
Super,
and then
it was a
getting halfway
massive jump.
there, I don't know. I mean, I guess I still got good rewards. I just didn't feel it was worth it. But I mean, I could have done it.
Oh, I know you could have done it. That's why I was very surprised that you didn't. And like anytime, I see you in the stakes that you ragged at. I'm like, the guy's always there, and he's always like multi-tabling. So
Yeah, yeah.
so you have a very interesting poker story way before the moneymaker boom. So go.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was always fascinated by poker since a child, and I watched my dad play poker with his friends, and was always intrigued. And then I started playing for baseball cards with my friends. And like I sent you in the email, I won my friend's Reggie Jackson baseball bat, and my mom made me give it back to him because he started crying. And then from there, it was a while. I saw Rounders. I don't know when it came out, like what,
98.
96,
98.
98?
Yeah.
Okay. And I thought it was amazing. Um, and I didn't start playing right away yet. I was living in San Francisco at the time. But as soon as I got back, where I grew up was in LA area, Orange County. And then I met my ex-wife, and we moved to Las Vegas for a couple months, and I started playing there, like poorly, but started playing there.
What year was
Seven,
this?
99,
Okay.
and seven card stud at first, and then spread limit
I didn't
hold'em,
see
which
it.
was two to six, I think, 2 to 6 spread limit hold'em,
I don't
and
remember. I remember the 1 to 5 stud
yeah, 1 to 5 was the stud,
and 25
and
cent
then
bring-ins.
yeah, I mean, and then I was hooked, and then I mean I played really badly, but when I moved back to LA a couple months later, I bought the Lee Jones Winning Low Limit Hold'em book, and I memorized the whole thing. Just made flashcards, hundreds and hundreds of flashcards, and memorized it. And I didn't have a losing month for about 12 years after that. So
Professional.
yeah, well, at least semi-professional, at first.
12 years, so 1999 to 2011?
Something like that. I mean, I don't know exactly, but
Or
but I,
2010.
I kept records, and it was a very long time until I finally had a losing month.
Mm, that's crazy.
And
Shout out to Lee Jones. He's sponsored by Global Poker now.
oh, is he? I remember he ran PokerStars, and I would even
Oh,
like
did he?
write him. Yeah, I'd write him emails, and he'd write me back and stuff, just saying I liked his book, and I was glad he was running PokerStars, which ran super well. It was run super well at the time.
Mm.
I hear bad things about it now, but at the time it was a big upgrade over Party Poker.
Oh, wow. I mean, yeah, let's go through your whole poker history.
Okay.
Let's see.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
so yeah, when I got back to LA, I didn't realize at first that there was even poker in LA. Like a lot of people are surprised even when I tell them now that I play poker in LA, and people just don't know about it, even though you drive by it all the time,
Yeah.
on the freeways. But I started playing, 3-6 and 4-8, and then moved up
Limit
to
Hold'em. Yeah.
yeah, limit hold'em, moved up to 8-16. Actually, for no limit hold'em, no one had it when I started playing.
Right.
But Hawaiian Gardens, what was called, not the Gardens, was called Hawaiian Gardens. They had a game eventually during the weekdays that started at noon. It was two three blinds, $100 buy-in, no limit hold'em. I started playing that, and
What year was this?
I don't know, maybe like I guess it was around Moneymaker time, so a little bit before that, maybe like 2002 or something.
Yeah,
And
because
then
at
yeah,
that time, Commerce was the 3-5 no limit 200 buy-in.
this was before that.
Oh
Before that.
yeah, yeah, okay.
And then eventually the Commerce had the 2-3 and the 3-5. I played those two. And I don't know. I always did well at No Limit Hold'em, but I find it boring, and you know, and you just sit there like for hours and hours and hours and finally get in a hand, and then that's your whole day.
I don't know. I mean, it's each their own. I played, so many games. I'm very ambivalent. Uh, but yeah, it's like, I think you played on Party Poker first, right?
Before playing live, no, I played there after I got started playing live. Party Poker, maybe, I don't know when that was, maybe 2003.
About then. I mean, yeah, I think they were around. Party Poker and PokerStars were around, obviously before the Moneymaker boom, because Moneymaker won his seat on
That's right.
PokerStars.
Yeah, on PokerStars, which was after. Yeah,
So on
so it's probably before then.
Yeah, Party Poker, there were skins like Eurobet, a lot of us would
Right.
16 table, 15-30 limit hold.
Yeah. I couldn't 16 table because I need the confetti on when I want a hand.
I think I still had the confetti. I don't know. You like, you're buried, you know how it is. You're buried 20 buy-ins, and then they fold the small blind to you, and then it goes pew, 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 you win.
Yeah, but that was cool because that's the first time I'd ever heard of sit and goes. I don't know if they invented them, but I used to love to play those.
I think they had them on Paradise Poker, but yeah, the sit and goes, I remember. I don't know what you did, but I crushed the 215s. I did okay in the 109s. My ROI was actually higher in the 215s, and they would be obscene for today's standards. And then somehow overnight, I think must have been Dan Harrington's book came out, and I'm like, whoa,
yeah. And then
everybody got better. Yeah,
everybody knew how to get their money in quickly at that point and not sit around and get blinded off. Yes.
Yeah. What was your experience with those?
Well, I mean, I did really well. I mean, I don't know, there's on my shark scope or whatever, it's really high. I don't think people do that anymore, but
yeah, exactly.
But I don't think I could do that anymore. But
Same.
I liked it because I could play different games that I didn't normally play, and then then the tournaments were fun because same kind of thing. Play first time I ever played Pot Limit Omaha and stuff like that, and some mixed games. And I mean, I did well on Party, but then where I really started to grind was PokerStars, and for the first couple of years, I was making about 4 big bets per 100 hands.
That's pretty nuts.
6 max, yeah. No one was really doing that, but I mean, in the end, people were getting better. Right around Black Friday, I mean, it was probably about 2 bets per 100. I mean, it was a lot harder. But so it was fun, to talk shit on 2+2, people poster graphs and stuff like that.
I never entered that kind of contest, but who else were the 2+2 people? As you know, I'm getting Bicycle Kick on, Mike L.
Okay.
I don't know who were the other legends. I mean, Sean Snyder, you already know, I had him on.
Right.
Right. Who are the other legends? If it isn't for me, these guys will just be long forgotten.
Well, there's Johnny Rocket, Reese. He made videos.
Rockets?
Johnny Rocket. He made videos on Stocks Trader.
Okay.
And he made some of the best videos, I thought.
Schneid was in the mix too. I mean, you guys know Andy Wang. Yeah.
I'm not sure I know Andy Wang, probably.
Mike L does, yeah. Well.
Okay. All right. I don't know. Then some, I mean, there were some big video makers that would go on there, but other than that, I don't know. They're just guys, that I would see every day playing, on Stars.
What name drop some people? I'll probably remember the names.
There was Daiquiri and I don't know who else was there. Cubs fan. I don't know. these kind of guys. I don't know.
We got our guy. If you remember, was it some? I gotta pull up his name. Donkey on Tilt.
Yeah.
who he's played on Live with the Bike, and I'm trying to get him to reveal his, his online, put a face with the online name, which
All right. Yeah.
I haven't even been public about like all my online names.
Yeah, I think he mostly played 510 if I remember right.
I don't know. We could ask him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I'm public with the audience. Like I don't like buy in sites big. I always like buy in 1K to 2K, and I just like run it up from the small stakes. So obviously, the small stakes, you see like you suited aces hit 30-60. It's T Piranha.
Right.
When you hit 200-400, you got fucking Joe Casty, Ziegler, and all that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Once you got up to 10-20, you're playing the best players in the world. It's like it was an incredible training ground. I was so much better for having going to online and then coming back to live. I mean,
yeah,
by miles. I couldn't believe how bad the pros were when I when I'm playing at much bigger stakes live. But I don't know. Some people are better, but not really.
So yeah, I mean it was. And then like I guess we'll go in chronological order. So you had one of the highest win rates, right? And then we could all confirm these things through poker table ratings. And if we play with you, we have Hold'em Manager. We want to shout out some of the people because I was mainly on Full Tilt. I play with Balls Deep X, aka Brian Oleska, Phil UVA. Matt Suspect was on PokerStars. He was a 30-60 right?
I don't know.
Okay, I just remember his office. He had
To be fair, I had like a huge win rate, but like whenever I try to play higher stakes, I would always run bad and get just smashed back down. So it was like I did well, but I was pretty conservative, and I wasn't playing nosebleeds at all.
Sure. I mean, this is the thing that I do with the podcast, my entire narrative. Like, dude, like win at poker first. Who cares what stakes you get? Like, you know how many graveyards there are with the high stakes pokers? Like, what 99% of the people are just like destroyed in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, I don't want to. Okay, not 99%, whatever. It's a very high percentage of people that just like, did not do well, even if they were talented players. It could be life leaks, could be they weren't good enough, but even theoretical winning players, just bad bankroll management, drug problem, women problem, pit game problem.
Mm-hmm.
Just so like I don't see any issues with like being a proven winner, and clearly you were. There were regs on PokerStars that were good players that were negative, and we could look them up through poker table ratings too. I don't want to name any names.
I could name one that you're going to talk to soon. But he was grinding Supernova Elite and just cared more about that. Yeah, that was another reason why I didn't get there. Is I was more concerned about winning and getting better and studying than I was about just getting in the hands to get the Supernova Elite.
There's definitely different strategies. There's obviously rakeback pros, which like, yeah, if you're making money, who cares? Like Supernova Elite was like, I don't know the number. It was either 120K or 130K. So if you're losing 50K off the poker, but still making Supernova Elite, you're still making money.
Right. Yeah. Which is cool. If that's your only goal. But
sure.
I mean, yeah, I wanted to progress,
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, do you remember Green Dragon?
That sounds familiar. Oh yeah, I know who that is.
So when I was in Santa Monica, she was one block away from me. She was one building away from me. She was in the Baller building. I was in the. I mean, my building was still obviously nice, but like she was in the Super Baller building.
Yeah, nothing's changed in that regard.
Yeah. So what happened leading up to Black Friday, and how'd you adjust?
Well, it was pretty devastating. I mean, the first thing that like happened was the net teller disaster type of thing.
Oh, okay. So you were in 2+2. Like we got wind of the net teller stuff. So like 3 months before it happened.
Oh yeah, I think that's right. Something like that.
About 3 months before it happened, 3 to 4 months on 2+2, there was like some warnings that something was going to happen with net teller. So I just took everything on. I was mainly on Hollywood Poker and Party Poker that time.
Okay.
And then I just pulled 95% of my stuff off. So I
Okay,
was
that was smart. I mean, yeah, I don't think I lost any money that way, but yeah,
they
but
eventually
that was
paid everybody back, right?
yeah.
That's
I
all.
think I don't remember losing any money, so I hope so. But I mean, that's just kind of the start of things, of things to come, and then eventually, Black Friday they decided to enforce, and I was out of work, and so I went and played. Like I didn't have much of a bankroll because I needed a smaller bankroll to play 3-6 than I do to play 2040, which is, kind of the smallest you should be playing if you're trying to make a living. But I had to go play 8-16 for a while until a couple people recognized me, then, staked me. And then there I was playing a little bit bigger.
Sure, I would have no problem staking you with your track record.
Yeah. So I did a lot of staking, for the like first few years. I mean, like I've staked, I've been staked.
How did that turn
Uh,
out? Because usually
it
people have
turned out pretty
banks.
well. I always hear horror stories. I mean, I think I made everybody money that staked me, but
Like,
I hear it's usually the opposite. Because usually, if you need money, there's probably a good reason for that.
yeah, I successfully completed like a couple stakes during some, weird timing issues, and then I don't feel good about it, and like, there
Yeah,
are disputes, and then the very last one, I didn't complete, and we just called it off. I'm gonna definitely take part of the blame for some of the disputes, but no money was lost at least. So I don't know. Like, it's good that yours turned out good and the people you stake turned out good, because obviously most of
yeah,
the time we hear stuff that it doesn't work out.
yeah. I hear like most of the time it actually does not. So probably not recommended to anybody unless you have a good reason for it.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
so I did that, and then I got eventually I got a job at the bike propping 2040, like for like a year or two, and then I got laid off. They lay off all the props and then rehire them and like do that over and over again.
sure.
But that was great. I mean, that's kind of how I started building my bankroll, and yeah, I loved it, and I did that for a while. Then I moved up to play 40-80, and then just kind of on my own, and did well at that. But I think if I were gonna do it again, or like right now, if the casinos are hiring, I think propping is like super safe and super good way to go to be a professional poker player.
Yeah, so I don't even remember when we crossed over. I did, obviously, recognize like just the way we play. We have an online background, and then we had this was before I was even propping, and our buddy Lyman, Abe Lyman,
Mhm.
was always just like, yeah, get subsidized, get your hands in all the pieces of the pie. And when I think we played a no limit hand, I don't think I was a prop yet, and I think you might have been. And then like, I don't remember the
Yeah,
hand exact.
I would have been. I would have been at that time. Yeah.
I remember I had eights and you had ace queen. I don't remember the action. I think you had top pair, and then like I had a set, and then on the river, like I made a big bet, and then you said like, I don't even know when I'm tanking. I'm never folding you.
Oh, that's how it went down. Like, yeah, I'm not. How could you've played so many crazy hands where I'm like, well, you just get paid off. That's just the way it is.
I just thought it was funny, but yeah, I mean, depending on what era and what game, because I played so many different games. Like, people just have so many different impressions of me. But I mean, honestly, like, whoever is up between you or I in anything, like, I just hate that you're never gonna fold to me. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, and that's why another reason why I like limit hold'em. You shouldn't be folding as much.
You made a
Most of the
late.
time.
I don't know if you remember this. You made a lay down and you would have two outed me on the river. You just believed me.
I mean, I was correct.
You
In
were
limit
you were
hold.
correct. Yeah, it was limit hold'em. You made a very thin laydown, and you would have ended up two outering me.
Okay. Well, then I made the right play.
You did, but I'm still happy to drag the pot. you know, you go through these processes. In the beginning, you're results oriented. Then in the process of learning, you're like, oh, process matters more. Then when you're older and the money matters, you're like, oh, results matter too.
Right. What I was telling you is like I went to showdown on pulled the manager was 45%. I don't think everybody was like in the high 30s. So it was I didn't like the fold post flop, you know. And I think I was right. Like I got a lot of crap for it at the time, but I think now in retrospect I was right and they were wrong.
I think online you were probably ahead of the curve.
Right.
It gets circular because one, if you're an unknown or you're facing unknowns, you definitely probably should have a higher win percent showdown. This goes for no limit too. I mean, unless you profile the guy to be super, look like a super nit. But even then, it's like looks can be very deceiving. But no, I mean, I don't know. Like Andy, who was Tan Shui, went on PokerStars. Some other people preach that too, and somebody else I'm gonna have on the PokerCraft podcast, aka Mike L, just loves laying down hands.
He does, yeah. He folds too much.
I'm agitated because like there was this massive pot. I think it was 40-80. He was getting like a bajillion to 1 on the call, like very mad. It was multi-way. I don't know. I think it was like 6 or 7 way, and I value bet ace king high, and he folds ace queen high.
Okay.
I'm just like I'm so mad.
Yeah, he's supposed to pay you off. I would have paid you off.
I know you would.
I don't even get a hand, but I already know.
It was 7-way like cat pre or something like that, and just like I value bet ace king high on the river, and he just like didn't even. He showed me the ace queen and just like mucked it.
Yeah.
I'm like.
Yeah, he likes to show when he makes a big laydown.
So yeah, these are the crazy experiences. They're just like I knew about Mike L from 2+2 and heard about him at Ocean's 11 way before I ever met him, and then I played against you on PokerStars, and then I don't remember at what juncture you mentioned your online name, and I mentioned on Live with a Bike, and some people in chat knew you, so.
Yeah, that's incredible to me. I don't know how anybody would know me, but that's fun.
Well, because the thing is, like, you were there like all the time. Anytime I bought in PokerStars for like 1K or 2K, I obviously have to go start from the bottom, and I see your name there all the time. That's why I just assumed you were Supernova Elite.
Right.
And you played well, like so I don't know. There wasn't any reason to doubt that, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
So then, after Black Friday, moving on to prop gigs,
Yeah. Then now I actually like live poker more than I like online. Like when this Kings Club stuff happened, I couldn't stand it, So being out of action since February or whatever has been kind of brutal. But glad to have it back.
You could meet your buddy.
Even though the casino comps are so bad now, like you get no comps, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, we know how it is. It's gotten harder. The environment's changed. Like it's, getting outdated. We gotta find other avenues to make money or get things going. So.
Oh yeah, I understand. Yeah, but it's kind of tough. It's just like the rate keeps going up, and and it's not. It's like I'm glad I got in when I did. Otherwise, I shouldn't have gotten in at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't know if you remember, but a long time ago when I was playing big, I was like, you'll never catch me propping, and now that I am, I'm just like, oh my god, thank God they have these things. It's just like insane. It's so much less stressful. Like if you're playing bigger and you're crushing, you can stare at your hourly all day, but it's just like, you go on these massive downswings and just like, I quit, I hate life, and some people, I'm not even that bad, but like. Some people obviously just like life tilts away, and they easily could be, doing well or doing bad depending on the cards. You're just like at the mercy of the deck.
Oh yeah. The long run live is forever.
Did you have any downswings or just like runs of cards where you just like dealt loser for like a year?
No. The longest downswing I had online was 300 bets. I mean, the biggest downswing.
300
big bets.
I don't know. That's like small?
I mean, like, yeah. So it was weird because like with 6 max, it just kind of, since my win rate was so high, that I just think that I was kind of like down swing proof, but like when you start playing live, it's just I don't know how many hands per month you get. You could easily, just start losing. Not for a year though. I don't know. Would you talk to otherwise winning players who've lost for an entire year?
The second year propping, I mentioned this on broadcast, like for a year and 3 months, I was dealt loser like 95% of the hands. Like I have witnesses, like the other props, the other players, like Ali just like, I never see you win a hand, like Mike Lamasse, it's just like, dude, it just doesn't matter, but it can happen.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it could happen. I just hope that never happens to me.
Right, and I'm lucky that I was propping, and obviously the fields are less competitive than high stakes players, but like it doesn't matter how good you are if you're dealt the losing hand for that long.
Oh, if you're playing high stakes, I could see how that could easily happen.
Well, I mean, even at low stakes, I was just, or propping 2040, it like literally happened.
Yeah, no, I've run bad, just as bad as everybody else does, but
Sure.
I don't know. If you have a higher win rate, there'll be less.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was physically dealt losers. Like I wasn't even dealt the winning hand. Like we were both players had something, and I was just dealt the losing hand for like 95% of hands.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah,
Not
so
for you.
yeah, no, it was very shocking, and just like I just can't rely on just purely the cards.
Right.
It's carrying me.
Yeah, that's why I always recommend propping. It's great.
And also, I've seen players, much better than me playing much higher stakes than me with like massive downswings, like bigger than I ever experienced. So I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to a guy that I think plays pretty well, and he said he's been losing for 2 years. I just can't really wrap my mind around it. It's so crazy.
I mean, a lot of it is just if you're just dealt the losing hand, like that's it. No matter how good you are, you can't fade being dealt the losing hand over and over.
Strong second best hands.
Yeah, exactly. And Zach Freeman, I don't know if you know who he is.
Yeah.
So yeah, he went no limit to PLO to mix. He didn't hit his first losing year until 8.
Yeah.
And Lyman.
Oh, he had a losing year.
Yeah, he had a losing year.
Wow. Okay, that surprises me.
Right, exactly. But obviously, if like he says something that he's losing, or I say something, like clearly it's actually happening. Lyman said he had 2 losing years, year 2 and year 8, I think. But like we just know like that they're definitely not punting, they're definitely not tilting. So even if they weren't playing optimally, like the cards had just a massive influence on them having a net negative years those times.
Scary stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean that's why I'm trying to warn the public, is it's like you could bitch about bad luck all you want, but we proactively accepted, Chasen accepted all this, and we know mathematically, technically, no matter how improbable, it can't happen.
Right.
You talked about coaching, or?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I was approached by one of the guys on 2+2 to join his, like, he was starting a limit hold'em coaching team, and like I went on there and dragged the bar. It was leather ass on the site, but I was dealing with the limit hold'em guy. So yeah, I did that for a while, and then I did some coaching. I got coached. It was an experience.
You want to comment on the value of those, or?
Oh yeah. Like some of these guys that were charging $300 an hour, it's just like absolutely criminal. There's no way you could get your value out of that. I mean, I would charge guys like $50 or $75 an hour, like to make it worth my time, but also to give them a value, And I think for a lot of people, I think I help make better, but I think in the long run, I started to realize most people are what they are, and you can't really change how they play. You're not going to be able to help them no matter how hard you try.
Yeah.
Even if you gave them every secret and go, here it is on a platter, they're not gonna be able to do anything with it. But
That's what I kind of found. There was a couple points that you bring out that are good. Like I discourage people from, getting coaching or personal coaching. I've been approached many times. I do accept like a few people, but I tell them I'm just like, this is like not worth your time. I have a 200 an hour charge rate because I need to like detract. Yeah, it's
worth it for you to do it.
yeah, it's not like it's obviously like I would love to have infinite, but like I discourage people because you're not getting the value from me, but also I can't just like do this stuff when I have like other responsibilities.
Right.
So
and especially for live poker, that's so much harder to coach than like online. We had all the hand histories. I mean, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
And time efficient.
Right. So like that's one of the things about live with a bike and hand histories. Obviously back in the day,
good.
With 2+2, you could post a hand, and back then I feel like people cared more about getting to the bottom of it. Whereas like a lot of times, it seems like people on 2+2 now just want affirmation about their own play.
Oh right, yeah. I've probably been guilty of that before.
Yeah, I mean, we all are. Like, we want affirmation at the same time. Like, I felt like the attitude back then was more like, I want to get to the bottom of this versus.
Right. It was about the process. Like, yeah, and then I remember they didn't want to have the results. They get mad at people if they posted the results.
Right.
Which is good, yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, like, it's like when you're not the person there or you don't know, like, all the players, like, we've been playing live for a while. I mean, you've been playing, like, what, like 5 years longer than me?
Okay.
And it just, like, how different, if it's a different person, you're going to do a different thing. So how, like, when you retell the story of a hand history, even if it's as many details as you can include.
Oh, right, yeah. I space out when people tell me hand history. I'm like, oh, forget it. Because, yeah, you almost have to be there.
What do you do? Do you just tell them you can't handle it, or you just don't want to hear?
I mean, I listen to it. I'm like, wait, I got lost in the first part.
I was telling Lyman, I'm like, when people tell me bad beat stories, I'm just like, wow, that was top 5, maybe top 3 worst beats of all time. And just shut my ears off. So, what do you? I mean, obviously, poker's a lot harder now. What do you recommend people, do today?
Probably not play poker for a living. I mean, if you want to supplement your income, I think it's a great hobby and everything. And they should probably play No Limit.
Oh no, No Limit's bad.
Is it bad?
I tell people not to play No Limit. Like it's
really.
I feel like Limit is a healthier ecosystem than No Limit. Like there's so much training out there. Like it's not about whether you can win in No Limit. I fully acknowledge you study, you play well, you can win. It's just the environment's worse. Like the player pool's not as there's numerically more players in No Limit, but the influx of consistent income, I feel like Limit Hold'em is a healthier environment.
Well, there are no new Limit Hold'em players.
There are not, but the influx of like money coming in, and also just possibly being subsidized by propping, where there aren't really not many No Limit props at least.
Oh yeah, if you're propping, yeah, that's perfect to be playing Limit Hold'em. Yes.
But just that I discussed with a lot of other guests, like PLO and mixed game are just better than No Limit.
Really? I thought the PLO, the variance is just ridiculous.
It is, but we're talking about theoretical win rate. I guess I don't know. I mean, No Limit has the lowest variance out of all the poker forms.
More than No Limit?
No Limit has the lowest.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I would have thought that was the case. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I always just. I mean, I feel like everyone's like the grass is greener. It's just like, oh, this other thing's supposed to be better. I'm just like, I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'll do. I mean, I can't imagine if limit hold'em went away that I guess I would have to. I would have to start playing no limit, but I don't want that to happen. But it scares me because like every year, like we lose several players to death or whatever, and we don't get any new one. It's kind of like that commerce game that like runs like 2 hours a week now. The low ball game.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if you remembered, I frequented the 100 200 stud at Commerce, and now it just doesn't run anymore.
Right. Okay.
So it's just like, you just kind of accept, some certain forms may die. I think like No Limit, because of televised poker, has a larger chance of lasting, but the game quality just keeps going down as, more exposure to like, No Limit strategy comes out.
Yeah, when I play No Limit, I usually notice quite a few good players. And I rarely feel that when I'm playing Limit Hold'em that anybody's any good.
Well, that's the point. Like, when
Right.
we're saying the ecosystem is healthier in Limit
Right.
Hold'em. Because, like, even though, like you said, several people may not be around in Limit Hold'em, they're not, like, for No Limit, there's just so much material for them to get better, and they actually do, seek out that stuff. Whereas, it's harder to find for the other. And PLO is actually, in 2020, probably second most studied behind No Limit. Whereas, like, back when we started, Limit Hold'em was the most studied game.
Yeah, no one playing Limit Hold'em actually studies. No one.
Even now?
Even now. Yeah.
I know a few people who still do.
Oh, I do know a couple, but
Yeah, so
they're pretty advanced.
yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of people, like old school people, like Joe Cassidy, like Greg DeVore, and like others. There's like I think they still work on things. So
Oh,
yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Throwing people under the bus. They were definitely playing like the largest stakes in PokerStars at the time.
okay. Which was what, like,
Oh,
was
man.
like 2-4 or something?
No, like Joe Cassidy and just like unassigned, and who was it, like iBad beat you. They were playing like 1K, 2K, or 2K, 4K.
Oh, it was that big on
Or
Stars? I know.
yeah. And
I know Full Tilt had those huge games.
yeah, well, Full Tilt had like No Limit, like massive stakes, like 500, 1,000. But no, like God, I'm missing Haas TBF. He was like another guy, and
Right. I know.
some
Yep. That name.
some other, there's some other people who are just like in the 100, 200, 200, 400, 500, 1,000 range too. Like I think Ziegler would brave that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, probably T Piranha. Stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
T Piranha mostly mained 30-60.
Okay.
And he did a software hack, I hear, which is like if you start a table, you always start with the button.
Really?
You didn't know
Does
this?
that seem ethical to you? Well,
I don't know. I just like that's what I heard. Some of the stuff that he just like got extra EV. I mean, if he
Well, yeah,
starts the
that's-
table, yeah.
Oh, I think that's the way it worked on the Stars, right? You just sit down where the button was, and then you get it.
Yeah, so I think he
So then, yeah, that's fine.
he grinded that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, do you have any shout outs or last words for the poker community? Shout out to the guys who remember you.
Oh, if you still remember me, hi again, and thanks for having me on. I don't know if I have anything else.
Okay, well, throw Mike L a needle.
Oh, Mike L.
Yeah.
So you're having it on soon.
Yeah.
I'm not going to needle Mike. He's a great poker player, and we play a lot differently. But as the years have gone on, our styles have kind of come closer together. So it's harder to rag on him than when I used to rag on him. Like I'd raise under the gun, and he'd 3-bet me with 5-4 suited in the small blind. I'm all, dude, are you insane? I'm all, but he doesn't do that kind of thing anymore.
Well, depending on the year, the location, I think we all play differently. But yeah, it's just like, you have to try some wild stuff, and then you just like settle on what you do, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Thank you for your time,
All
Dustin
right.
Cook,
Thanks, Ryan.
aka
All right. See you later.
Peste. Later.
See you at the casino.
See ya.